Because we think worldliness is smoke, drink, cuss, the 7 deadly sins. I love what he says here. He says, you're still worldly, for since there is jealousy and quarrelings among you, you are worldly. These are called social sins or attitudinal sins. In other words, sins that affect relationships. Oh my God. There are certain sins that only impact you, but there are other types of sins that have broader implications: quarreling, jealousy, bickering, gossiping, slandering. T. It feels better now because we found a euphemism for it. My God, talking here. Now we just call it tea, but the Bible calls it gossip.
Okay.
Jesus. I don't want that tea.
So
pour that tea out.
This is something I've been, noticing in culture over the years.
Yeah.
This whole idea of tea.
Yeah.
And I noticed, we were talking earlier, we noticed that the videos we put out that are kind of more tea-ish
people like it.
get way more views.
Yeah.
So and honestly, this is what kind of got me thinking about all this in the first place. I was at my church and shout out to Pastor Rod Green. He was doing a sermon and he was talking about gossip and how, if you're talking about something that is none of your business and you have no way to make it better, then it's gossip, right? Wow. So it really made me think. I'm like, wow, I wonder if what we're doing on the show is gossip.
Oh yeah, you did shut us down. You was like, okay, we can't stop doing that gossip stuff.
Yeah, just because it just made me wonder. I'm like, okay, I don't mind responding to if somebody says something out of their own mouth.
Yeah.
Like we react to videos and we're responding because we're given like it's almost like a sermon based off of what they said, kind of commentary on, okay, not necessarily for them, but just for the rest of us. If you feel like this or you don't understand this is what we think about it. But I really started thinking, man, I wonder, we should really be careful not to say too much about things we don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Like it's just kind of hearsay.
Yeah.
And I've been really checking myself on that recently. Like, I wonder if some of this is popular because it's so hearsay.
Yeah. I think it's so funny is like for somebody who does do the entertainment report, it's like you got to try to find. Like I've changed the entertainment report over the years. And a couple of years ago, it was just like basically like what's going on with Christian hip hop or the kind of community. But then I kind of started telling it more like, what everybody's talking about. And then, something based off the community and then something where the church and the community meets. Like, you know what I mean? But then also you got to figure out, like, if somebody said something, like you said, it's a react. But for somebody else, that could still feel like gossip because you're adding your own opinion to it because you don't know the entire fact. Like somebody said in the chat, like, oh, so no more Will and Jada stuff. At the same time, it's like, we're giving our opinions on that situation. Yeah. That could sound gossipy, but in the long run, it's really an opinion based, like, hey, this is our opinion on this. Even though we don't know everything, we just presented what we're known. Like it's almost like somebody like giving you a piece of cake, but you're not privy to the whole cake. You know what I'm saying? They just giving you a slice and going, here, eat. You know what I mean?
So this is something we're like actively thinking about. So like, for instance, somebody mentioned Will and Jada. So a couple weeks ago or last week, I can't remember, Jada said something and we responded to what she said.
Yeah.
Will said something on stage and we responded to what he said. But in the midst of that, there's some things that we've heard that have been gossip, like open marriage and this and that. So
and which they came out and said they don't have open marriage.
Right. So when that stuff happens, if you notice, we were like, that we don't know that.
Yeah.
We don't know, you know what I mean? So we're trying to just make sure that we're operating just off of what the person has said themselves as much as possible and not on what we've heard about them.
So let me ask you a question. So if you, like, let's say you was working at a church, right? Yeah. A church here locally, you helping them with their Wi-Fi setup and whatever, right? Big church, whatever. Yeah. You walk in and like you going through somewhere, you're working on some stuff, and you happen to walk in the office and you see the pastor and the secretary getting busy. Oh. And they're like, these are big church people, and somebody was like, you walked out and you be like, yo, that's what I just saw was crazy. And you tell somebody, and somebody like, yo, I know somebody that give you like $5,000 for that story. Would you like on something like that? Because in essence, T is big business. TMZ is paying people. TMZ, all these places are paying people for information about a story on somebody that could be true, but it looks like gossip too. You know what I'm saying? So like prime example, when the whole 444 thing and the elevator thing, I'm sure whoever was in that security guard was like, oh, what? Whoa, you know what I mean? Like,
I got the tea.
You know what I mean?
That's real tea. And if you notice, we try our best not to. We know a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah.
We don't act like we know a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
We know a lot of stuff about a lot of these people.
Yeah.
But we don't come on here and tell people business.
Yeah.
So that's intentional. We've intentionally not been that kind of thing.
Sure, yeah.
Right. But I'm even challenging myself even more to say we need to even go beyond just what we know about people, like actually know.
Yeah.
To stuff we've heard about people.
I see what you mean.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That could be considered.
Yeah,
gossip
but because then I think hearsay is more your opinion about that person, even if that's true. You know what I mean? Because even certain situations you don't know the whole story about it.
Yeah.
Because they always say is that person's side, and God's side. It's like you just don't know. So you're hearing that one person's side, and that one person's side could be half truths. You know what I'm saying? That could be like, Sean did this to me, and not realizing. You came to Sean's house, knocked on it, like, yo, what's up? And then, like, you know what I mean? Like,
you may not know the real story.
Yeah.
You're just hearing their side.
Yeah.
So, okay, but now I want to talk about what drives the desire for tea, and why does it seem like the word tea is accepted? There's people in culture, like, it was Ricky Smiley's show that he put on, Dish Nation.
Yeah, Dish
it's
Nation.
called Dish Nation. Dish is another way to say gossip, right? Guy on there's name is Gary with the T.
Yeah.
Like it's like a culture of even the Shade Room is a tea site, right?
Yeah.
Why have we kind of converted this sin into something that's kind of just like
because it's big
entertainment?
I think at the same time, even though you don't want to know, you still desire. You don't want to know, but you still be like being in the known of what's going on. And majority of the time, what's going on is celebrity news and celebrity gossip. You know what I mean? That's what keeps the conversation. I bet you, like, we're coming up on Thanksgiving, so like I bet you in a long stream, you're at your Thanksgiving table with family and friends, and when it get past, how you doing, Sean? How you doing? How you doing? When you get past all your family stuff, y'all gonna start talking about what's going on, and you're gonna basically talk about stuff that you've heard.
And it helps you in those conversations when you're like, but did you hear such and such?
Yeah.
That's what everybody wants to be able to be like, oh, you know what they've said, but did you know this? So it's desirable.
This is a good poll Crispy just put up. He said, do you think online Christian community Tia, Trackstarz, Ruslan, the crew, etc. falls under the sinful gossip?
That's what we're trying to make sure we don't. We are actively trying to make sure we're not falling into the gossip territory. We've always avoided telling people's business that we know.
Oh yeah.
To me, that's the directest form of gossip there is, where you hear something. We know things about people that we didn't necessarily hear from them, but it's like pretty obviously true.
Yeah, but I use like, because I following the crew and what they were doing, like. To me, they were putting out what you say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if I'm an artist and I'm saying something crazy, or I tweet something crazy, or I post something crazy, you did that.
You may not have seen it, but they put this out publicly.
Yeah. So if I only have 2,000 followers or 1,000 followers, and their platform have more followers, but if I'm saying something crazy, and they're like, yo, such Jeremiah of Trackstarz said blah, blah, blah.
They were the Christian accountability.
Yeah.
You can't hide no more.
Yeah, because people were giving them information and stuff. So I think at the same time, it's like, to me, I've always been the type of person, and maybe because I'm doing the entertainment stuff, I'm like, if you don't post it, they don't have a story. People don't have a story. So if you're not wilding out on live, if you're not, and I'm not talking about just from the Christian space, I'm talking about in general as a celebrity, if you don't want stuff to be posted, you may want to fall back from it or just don't post online.
And what Ruslan does, I don't think is gossip at all. Like he's been really good at covering things that are just news, and giving the Christian perspective on the news of the day. Yeah, that's not gospel.
As Mache said, on behalf of the Trackstarz, seeing the back end of it, I don't think you guys just don't take sound bites. You'll go and listen to the whole entire thing before you actually put something out on the show.
Now, if something like, for example, when we talked about the list today, when I saw the clip of Mike Todd, I saw the whole interview, which was a great interview with him in the Breakfast Club. But I saw that part, and they put that part out themselves. So I was like, oh, that'd be great for our whatever we talking about. So I think some stuff is like you may not be able to see everything, but as long as it fits what you're talking about. If you're talking about something, it's almost like your pastor. If your pastor showed a video clip or something or showed something that happened this week and he preached about it, it's not gossip he's doing it. It's just this is the focus. This is the point I'm trying to make, and we're going to make a point out of that.
So behind the scenes, this is the goal of every topic. For instance, the last one we just did, if you're just watching the clip, we just did a topic on Halloween. Yeah. The actual topic is Halloween and how Christians should respond to Halloween. We're just using the New York Post Ouija board story as a way into the story. Yeah. When we do Will and Jada, it's really way into how do you respond as a Christian when your marriage is falling apart. That's a real topic we're talking about. We're just using that as a way into that topic.
It's the Wizard of Oz effect. It's the Wizard of Oz theory, meaning like when they went to Oz, they saw this big, powerful thing, but when they went behind it, it got deeper, and you got to see who the real person is. And that's what it is. It's like, and honestly, we're showing somebody, if they want to start a show, that's what you can do from a Christian perspective. Is like use a topic, just like a pastor would use a topic, and then you break it down to talk about the stuff that needs to help people with it.
Yeah, but again, we're not above anything, right? So it's still something that I've recently had to think about. Like, let's make sure that we're not gossiping. Like, if there's something that we say or we do that's just like hearsay, it's like at least challenge it. Like, I don't know about that. I don't know if that's
and I think our calls at night, and here's another thing too, and maybe we can figure this out, but it'd be dope if people can watch our call, because our call is one of the funniest time at night. Really, but I think it's we have great people on our team, and we have great people that send us stuff. We have great people that help us out with stuff, you know what I mean? So shout out to everybody on our team that comes on that call and help us with it. But I think at the same time, I think it's a heart check for us. I can't speak for any other brand, but I know for us, it's a heart check of saying stuff. Because there's stuff I want to report about sometimes, I'm like, I can't do that. That's too far. So, but I think at the same time, though, gossip is big business, man. People make a ton of money off of gossip news, off of a celebrity. If a celebrity is popping, if you want to know what that's, because the thing is, this been going on since the 80s, 70s. Like, people, once publications started coming out, because it used to be, going back to this whole how tea formed into tea. Back in the day, they used to just have those columns in newspaper like celebrity gossip, you know what I mean? But it was small. It wasn't no television show about it. It wasn't no news cycle about it. It was just like, you be watching it back in the day. They go to the movies. In between movies, they have stuff where they'll talk about, well, this happened on this set or this. It was like Entertainment Tonight, but just in that movie set. And there wasn't no shows dedicated to that. So you had to go to the movies or read a newspaper to see what's happening on with people. You know what I mean? So I think it went from that to when people started with more Entertainment Tonight type shows, and then of course going from that to like the hard copies to current affairs and to all that. That kind of shifted it to what we got now with TMZ. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, and I think even beyond that is not just gossip. Even if we're not gossiping, it's just celebrity culture in general is starting to get out of control. Yeah. Where we care so much about what these people think, do, buy. Yeah.
Because, I mean, that started off with the Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, if you remember that show, where you like, such and such has a gold plate toilet. You know what I mean? You're like,
and it drives greed and jealousy and envy. So it's not just gossip we got to be careful of. It's greed, jealousy, envy, pride.
Yeah, because or covetous. Like, you want what somebody else have because, you know, Gucci got this new thing, and I want to go with Gucci because my favorite rapper got on this Gucci belt. You know what I'm saying? Like, or something like
Unfortunately, our whole economy kind of runs off of that.
Yeah.
It's all about those sins. That's what drives it. So it's tough. All right, let's get back into it. You in the field with the Trackstarz. Ryan Wright, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.